And as Scott has mentioned, right now we are bracing for yet another round of potentially hazardous weather. And with that in mind, Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones joins us now live in Hartford to break down how the storm could impact your family. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning, Raj. Well, city and towns across Connecticut are keeping a close eye on the first alert forecast, preparing themselves for gusty winds and heavy rains. And of course, that could lead to possible widespread power outages. Now, we're hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. And that's what many public works department and emergency services are doing in anticipation of Wednesday's potentially hazardous weather. Now, the last heavy rainstorm Connecticut saw this season at one point knocked out the power for tens of thousands of people. Eversource actually already sent out a text to customers alerting them of the possible outages to come. City and town officials are aware of the potentially hazardous weather and are keeping a close eye on the forecast.
We're very concerned about the flooding. We're very concerned about the high winds.
Coming up, how the mayor of Hartford is preparing for potentially dangerous flooding and trying to mitigate that ahead of all of this rain and gusty winds. Reporting live in Hartford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.